Good afternoon. I have a dear friend of mine. His name is Dovi Sorotskin. He's a nephew of the Rav. He was supposed to be here tonight, but sadly, his daughter was nifter a couple of days ago. And I spoke to the Telzer Rosh Hashiva this morning, Rav Yitzchak Sorotskin, and he told me I should mention that tonight's schus is the Ilu Nishmasei Beila Bracha Bas Reb Chaim Dov. Ilu Nishmasei. I'm not going to be giving a speech tonight. I want to share with you Dvarim HaYotzim and Alev. Hopefully, if I'm Zoiche, it will be Nechnosim L'Lev. B'Rishus, the Rosh Hashiva, Rav Agoin, Makil Kotler Shlita. B'Rishus, the Rosh Hashiva came special from Bnei Brak, Shiva of Yad Aaron. B'Rishus Kol HaKol HaKodesh Hazeh. Today, when the plane landed, and the hundreds of children came to greet the Rosh Hashivas, there's a fellow in the audience, a friend of mine, his name is Charlie Deutsch, big supporter of Torah Prep. Charlie, had you been there, you would be crying like all of us were. And for that, I feel grateful and humbled to have a schus, to be close to such Gedolei Yisrael like the Yeshiva of Lakewood. I consider it a badge of honor that I have a close kesher with the Rosh Hashiva. My bracha to the Rosh Hashiva is, may he continue to be marbitz Torah to the 7 or 8 or 10 or 20,000 Talmidim that he has at Bias HaMashiach. B'Rishus Rabbi Winter, the Morad Asher Shlita, thank you for my parents, my father-in-law, and all my many friends and family that came today. Your encouragement and the chizuk that you give us means a lot more than you imagine. And to my dear partner, Rav Yehuda Taub, JJ, you have a tremendous heart, and we're all proud to say that we are partners. And to my role model in life, Rav Yehuda Beanstalk. Yehuda, you're much more than just a partner. You built a great company. Many of our employees and friends are here today. They can all agree with you, just what I'm saying, that we are like one big family. But you do that by teaching us what the true meaning of Torah and Derech Eretz is. From the way you treat your employees, Jews and non-Jews alike. From the tzedakah that you give, from the shiurim that you force us to go to. Skype, in person, it's like a never-ending battle, these shiurim. You're the ultimate true role model. And to the silent partner tonight, who many of you don't know, my wife Chani. She's the real silent partner of MGM. And all of us here owe her thank you. I traveled days on end, never complains, and always pushes me to do more, give more, treat people better. My bracha to us is, may our children grow up to be in the same path of the Gedolei Yisrael we have present today. The last few weeks, we've been laning the parsha of the Mishkan. Pasuk says, "V'asu li mikdash v'shachanti b'soicham." Hashem says, "Let me dwell amongst you." Pasuk starts in Parshas Truma, Daber el b'nei Yisrael, V'yikchu li truma. Hashem says, take me for a truma. So Chazal are bothered. What does that mean? And the truth is, Rashi is really bothered by the same question. And Rashi says it means, take me for my name. But there's a medrash that Rav Shach Zatzal said over, and every time he said it with tears rolling down his eyes. There was once a king, fabulously wealthy king. He had one and only daughter. That daughter was the center of his world. Came time to marry off this daughter, and they searched all over the world to find a prince that's befitting to marry this princess. And they find this handsome prince in a faraway land. They planned a celebration that's going to be record-breaking, worldwide media attention. The big day comes, and the king says, I'm going to make a week-long celebration. And lo and behold, the wedding was spectacular. At the end of the wedding, at the end of the week, the king approaches the prince and he says, you know, I'm really, really proud to have you as my son-in-law. You bring honor to my kingdom. Really? I want you to come back with me. However, that's an unfair request. So do me a favor, when you're going to build your palace, build a room right next to it for me so I can come visit the girl that's been the center of my universe since she was born. Says the Medrash, the Torah is the only daughter of the Rebbeinu Shalom. Kolell Yisrael is the chassan. The Rebbeinu Shalom gave Kabbalah Torah in arguably the greatest wedding celebration since Brias HaOlam. No one disputes when the Rebbeinu Shalom, when Hashem said, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, there was thunder and lightning. The entire world witnessed it. Nobody ever denied it. Nobody ever will deny it. After Kabbalah Torah, Hashem tells the chassan, Bnei Yisrael, I physically cannot part from my Torah. Take me along. Take me with you. Daber el Bnei Yisrael, vayikchu li truma. Take me for a truma. Build me a mishkan. That when I'm going to put my luchos in the aron, I want to be close to my Torah. Chazal further explain, Miyoyim shenechrav beis hamikdash, ein lanu ela daladam shel halacha. Where does Hashem live today? He lives in the Beis Medrash. Ladies and gentlemen, what we saw today, 400 boys coming to greet the Rosh Hashiva at the airport. When the Rosh Hashiva handed out those Mishnahs or Barons to those 150 little children waiting online, that was the ultimate Daber el Bnei Yisrael vayikchu li truma. That's what Hashem meant. Take me for a truma. And more than that, we see these Yungalites sitting here today. They are bringing Chesterfield a piece of that Mishkan. Embrace them. Welcome them. Bring them into your home because they are the Mishkan itself. Last week, Shabbos, I learned with my son, Masechtas Makkos. And I came across a Gemara that I would like to share with you. The Gemara says, it's known that David HaMelech did not have the zechus to build the Beis HaMikdash. And David HaMelech complained to Hashem and he said, I'm walking in the street. Amad David lefnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rebbeinu Shalom. Shamati b'nei Adam she'omrim Masa Yomo Zoken Zeh. When is this old man going to die? V'yavoi shloime b'noi v'yivne beis abchira v'nal regel. We want to go be oil regel. Please, finish with David. It's time for Shlomo to take over and build me a Beis HaMikdash. We want to all go b'yay l'regel. And the Rebbeinu Shalom answered him, David Beni, Yoim Echad Lefanai is more important than 1,000 karbanos. One day of Limud Torah is more valuable than 1,000 karbanos. I don't know if any of you have walked into Lakewood Yeshiva, or Chafetz Chaim for that matter. 7,000 Yungalites sitting and learning. The holiness is tangible. That's tens of thousands of karbanos being shechted on the Kodesh HaKadoshim on a daily basis. That's what we are bringing tonight to Chesterfield. We are giving you all the opportunity for these Yungalite to represent thousands upon thousands of karbanos. When they sit and learn Night Seder with you, or when they say a shir in the morning, don't look at them as a burden on the community. Look at them as people that are going to represent the karbanos in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what the pasuk means. Daber el b'nei Yisrael, vayikchu li truma. These Yungalite, because of them, we are inviting Hashem into our lives. We are telling Hashem, we want you part of our community. I want to expand a little bit. That's the benefit of having the Yungalite. What about for our future generations? What are these Yungalite doing for our future? I heard a word from a friend of mine, Rabbi Avi Snyder, who's a prominent Talmid Chacham, one of the many thousands of Talmid Chacham that came out of Lakewood. And he said a very, very beautiful word. There are two people in the Torah, which I'll admit, one of them I didn't know about myself, who seemingly did remarkable things, but at the same time got little or no recognition, and we never really saw the benefit to what they did. One of them was a brother of Avram Avinu. His name was Haran. I didn't know who he was until my 10-year-old son pointed him out to me. When Avram Avinu went into Ur Kasdim and jumped into the fire, Haran followed him and died, got killed. Torah never mentions him. And seemingly, he looks like he didn't get any recognition for their marvelous act. The second one was a Yid by the name of Chor, came from Shevet Yehuda. And when Klal Yisrael tried to bring the Chet HaEgel, the golden calf, he tried to stop it, and they stoned him to death. Says Rabbi Avi Snyder, if you look through the Psukim, you will see that the saying of every action has a reaction is obvious. If you look through the Psukim, you'll see that the grandchildren of Haran, all the Imoyos, all the mothers of Klal Yisrael, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, all came out of Haran. More than that, the Medrash says, Mashleiro Shivcha Layam Leiro Cheskel Ben Buzi. There were 600,000 Jews came out of Mitzrayim. Think about it. We had 600,000 people that were as big as the Chazon Ish, Rabbi Aaron Kotler Zatzal, Reb Moshe, Reb Shach, Reb Kiva Eger, the Chassam Sofer, and on and on and on. Who did they pick to build the Beis HaMikdash? A 13-year-old child by the name of Betzalel. Says Rabbi Snyder, every action has a reaction. Sometimes it's today, sometimes it's tomorrow, sometimes it's like what the Chazon Ish promised 40 years later. Every father on every Friday night benches his daughter Yisimech Elakim Kesar Rivka Rachav Leah. What was the entire Mishkan built for? To counter the Chet HaEgel. Who got to build it? A 13-year-old child who was a son from Uri, a son from Chor. Every action has a reaction. Rabbi Winter, for 35 years, you've struggled to build this community. It's no secret you had Tremendous Mesiras Nefesh when you came here. You left your family in New York, struggled where to put your kids in yeshiva. Baruch Hashem, we have a beautiful yeshiva today like Torah Prep and MTI. We didn't have that then. And it was a struggle every single day. But that action, that selfless action, when you picked yourself up and you came here, the reaction was the promise of the Chazon Ish that tonight the Chesterfield Kollel will be here. I didn't coin every action has a reaction. But I'm going to coin that your action and these Jungalite are the reaction. He's a fellow. He was supposed to be here tonight. I believe his partner's here. His name is Gabe Grossberg. Many of you know him. Unfortunately, he was out of town. Went to pay him a visit in his office to invite him to the Kolell. Built a fabulous company. And he shared with me the following story. His father was in the concentration camps. And his father, after the concentration camps, ended up in communist Hungary, and he got out in 1956. What kept him alive was that he knew that one day he's going to live in California and enjoy the hot sun. Came to New York. He set out on his lifelong journey to go to California. That's what got him out of the camps. He stopped in St. Louis for one day. And he realized that Chesterfield has a beautiful Torah Digger, at that point I believe it was St. Louis, has a Torah Digger community, and Rabbi Spetner, the Rosh Kollel of Cincinnati's father, is here tonight, schlepped Gabe to yeshiva, Rabbi Kenny Spetner. And Gabe's father gave up his lifelong dream to live in California. Yes, the action was selfless. He got out of the concentration camps, and that was his dream. But the reaction was that one day, the 26,000 non-frum people that live within 2 miles of this arena will join the benefit. Will welcome the benefit of the action of Gabe's parents. I want to close with the following story. But before I close, I want to address the women in the crowd. Everybody talks to the men. Please be mindful of me. I want to address the women in the crowd. Do you understand that when you push your husband or your son or your daughter to go learn for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, or you convince your neighbor, where's my husband going? Oh, he's going to learn. Convince your neighbor. We have Talmidei Chachamim here. Go learn with them. 5 minutes. The action is small, but the reaction can be that one day Chesterfield, Missouri will be a vibrant Torah community in the Midwest that many cities in America will be jealous of. And it's all in the hands of the Noshim Tzidkaniyos. I want to close with a word I heard from the Chafetz Chaim. Shimon Schwab went to visit the Chafetz Chaim for a Shabbos. The Chafetz Chaim turns to him and he asks him, "Are you a Kohen?" And he says, "No." Well, why? Because my father was not a Kohen. Why is your father not a Kohen? My grandfather wasn't. His grandfather wasn't a Kohen. The Chafetz Chaim looks at him and he goes, "You know, my grandfather's a Kohen. My father's a Kohen. My great-grandfather was a Kohen. Do you know why? Because thousands of years ago, after the Chet Egel, when Moshe Rabbeinu turned to Shevet Levi, and he asked my grandfather, Mi Lashem Elai, who is with me? And my grandfather stood up and said, I am. And for thousands of generations later, every single grandchild is benefiting from those 2 words, I am. Says the Chafetz Chaim to Reb Shimon Schwab. Every generation since then, the Rebbeinu Shalom calls out, Ami Lashem Elai. And the people that answer, I am, will benefit for thousands of years further. And the people that don't will lose that opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, these Jungalite are calling out tonight, who is with me? Who wants to come learn with me? Who wants to be my chavrusa? The 26,000 neshamas that are surrounded this arena are calling out tonight. Mi Lashem Elai. The boys in Torah Prep are calling out. Mi Lashem Elai. Let's all get up together and answer an astounding yes. I am. And in that schus, may we all be zeichet to the ultimate. Asil Mikdash v'shachanti b'seicham. Thank you for listening.